episode is brought to you by Support the Mountains Herbal Parasite Cleanse. This formula targets the small and large intestinal tracts and larvae, the most broad-spectrum formula available today. 100% organic, formulated by Dr. Mikio Sankey, author of the Esoteric Acupuncture series. For 10% off your first bottle, visit shopyogahub.com and use the coupon code CLEANSE at checkout. Hello and welcome to YHTV's Flowing into Awareness with visionary and master intuitive Anatara. I'm Christina Suzuma, your host of this program. Today we're speaking of the experiment of life on Earth. And here is the beautiful Anatara.
Wow.
Hello.
Hello, and what an experiment this is. One of the best things about this experiment on Earth, which I'll describe in greater detail in a moment, is that this is one of those opportunities as people and as a visionary, which I may be, or as a very calm, simple person and happy person who just lives their life, can actually start to watch and see how, as this experiment unfolds for all of us, that we're engaged in it and that we're a part of it. It's an opportunity to watch and to view and to decide how we want to participate. So this experiment, what is it? Every single one of us here in human form on Earth came to this planet from somewhere else. We came here to be part of the development, literally the development of the experiment. There were some parameters involved in how it started, but each of us came to see how we would understand it and how we would participate in it and what it meant for the evolution, literally, of the physical into a state of higher consciousness, whatever that means. So, we decided all of these other, beings of light and color and different energetics, we decided to come here to see what would happen if we allowed ourselves to forget all of the higher consciousness and experiment with being physical first. And being physical in this way means and has meant that we have emotions that can cloud our minds and get in the way of how we perceive spirit, how we perceive light, how we perceive human love. So here we are, after having many, many chances through reincarnation of being individuals on this planet. Here we are at this stage of the experiment, which is telling us and showing us and giving us the opportunity to move through everything and anything that we have come to believe is solid in terms of our how we think, what we feel, what we believe in. Anything that makes us rigid, anything that holds us in a limited state of mind and consciousness is showing itself right now to all of us so that we can adapt and flow and move through it into a place where we literally achieve harmony, balance, and peacefulness. You were talking about balance the last time we spoke, Christina. This is that balance. This is the place where everything that we've been experimenting with, as we continue to complete the experiment and to see what the next stage of the experiment is, this is where it all comes together and frees us of everything that's held us back and everything that's held us down. And I literally mean here the things that holding us back and holding us down. They're not just the fact that we're living lives and doing jobs and being in poverty or being in wealth. That's not what I mean. I am talking about the grander and greater levels of focus and attention and awareness and consciousness that we are allowed to have. What has been keeping us from seeing those, knowing those, addressing those things, bringing those things into us and letting that be this particular stage of the experiment. I'm not going to call this a final stage because there is no end to anything. This is part of the way we are all, becoming alive, aware, abundant, free. So the experiment, like, what can you do with it? What can you do with this crazy experiment? The answer is see it and know it. Let it happen without resisting it, and know that the trials and tribulations and the pain that you've all been experiencing and witnessing it's in a final thrust. That part is final. That part is in a final thrust, so that we can observe it from a state of, sort of higher acceptance and of love, so that it doesn't have to exist anymore. We can nullify all these painful things by seeing that we no longer need them, by seeing that we don't have to take them on, by seeing that we don't have to be any of that anymore.
Mm.
Wow.
Wow is right. Ooh. It's we need to take a breath on this one, Anatara. That's a lot. It's very deep. And it encompasses why we're here.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot. And that we have to swim through.
Oh, we do. We do.
Yes, and be with and learn to cope with. It's I think for some individuals it might be a little more trying than others, depending on what parts that we're experimenting right now, or we are being experimented with. Right. And for some, it seems like the flow is a little more fluid and easy. Wow. Well,
no, something came to me when you were talking, and it is that we aren't here to fix anything. There is nothing to be fixed about these episodes in the millennia that we've been reincarnating in. Nothing to be fixed. It's not something that we have to understand and take on as a challenge that must be fixed. The thing that will fix it, to use that analogy and that word that makes sense to a lot of people, is to let it finish itself. Let the negative emotion, let the fear, let the hatred, let the sense of being unsafe in this life, let those things be gone. Let them flow away. You can't fix that. You can't fix that feeling that you have. You can't fix the other elements of the world that seem to be creating it. The appropriate response, the real fix, is in watching it and observing it and letting it go away. Letting all of those channels that we've developed in ourselves and in our minds and in our hearts and in our emotions, let those channels be open in a different way, so that we don't have to take steps in the ways that we have to allow it to be different. It has always been different. We just didn't know it. We were in the experiment, and the experiment does not have to function any longer as a dampening field on who we really are.
Well, that could be part of the experiment, is to release that dampening feeling.
You got it.
Yes, and be. Oh, just laugh, everybody. It's all good.
Well, it's all funny.
It is,
Funny, ridiculous. Funny, ridiculous. From some perspective, everything is funny, ridiculous.
Yes. And we must learn to laugh at it all and just keep positive as we move forward.
Absolutely.
Oh, thank you so much, Anatara, for this very deep discussion.
At least we're laughing about it.
Yes, absolutely. And of course, we'd like to thank each and every one of you for joining us in this new platform of education and information. We're grateful for your continuous support, and we look forward to hearing your feedback on how we can serve you better. You can connect with Anatara by following her on Twitter @Anatara, and on Facebook, Master Intuitive. And of course, you can follow her through her own website, anatara.ca. anatara.ca. We love your comments, your suggestions, and topics that you might like Anatara to touch upon. Leave a message in a comment box or just give us a call at 818 Let's Talk. 818 Let's Talk. Thank you for joining us again, and until next time, namaste.
If we believe and if we know that we are not alone, then so many of the fears and the things that feel tenuous to us in our lives, it disappears, because you know you don't have to decide something on your own. You don't have to create or recreate something on your own. That you have the possibility of group mind working with you and assisting you in your discovery of who you are and what you are, in your